Democrats, Republicans came and went from the White House, and we kept our head down and did what we needed to do.
Do you think you could get elected today?
I don't think so.
How come?
I'm not ideological enough for today. I probably couldn't get through a primary.
Okay, so to prove his point, just a few minutes later, we had a conversation with a small group of voters. You could call them super voters. They make sure to vote, both Democrats and Republicans. It got real hot, real fast.
Stronger presence in foreign
That's all
affairs.
nonsense. That's all bogus.
No, it's not.
Fox.
That's my opinion.
Okay, that's his
I
opinion.
just
Got you. Michelle, you were not kidding. Things did get hot, and I know you guys are preparing for a public event tonight. Think things will get hot tonight? Well, hopefully not. We do have two surrogates from both the Trump and Harris campaigns, and hopefully everybody will be on their best behavior. NPR's Michelle Martin and Steve Inskeep, hosts of Morning Edition, joining us from WHYY in Philadelphia. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
This fall, several people have caught dengue fever in Los Angeles County. The disease is transmitted by mosquitoes, and it can cause dangerous fever, sometimes even death. But it has been rare in most of the U.S. Now, dengue's range might be shifting, in part because of climate change. NPR's Alejandra Barunda tagged along with the team, trying to halt the outbreak.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
In a tidy backyard in the Los Angeles suburb of West Covina, insect control technician Manny Lara is hunting for mosquitoes.
So I'm checking these trash cans here. I also see there's adults here.
A swarm of adult mosquitoes fly out of a trash can lid. Lara works for the local vector control agency, which tries to prevent the spread of insect-borne diseases. He's out here looking for any bits of standing water, from trash cans to houseplants or even tiny bottle caps. That's where these mosquitoes like to breed.
I think that one is just emerging. Do you see that one?
And he's just found a buzzing, horrifying mother load. Adult mosquitoes and hundreds of larvae in the process of hatching. These are an invasive species called Aedes aegypti. Lara says they're a lot more aggressive than California's native mosquitoes.
Sometimes they'll bite you multiple times. So they're just kind of like, let me taste this person, let me taste that person,
That's annoying, and it's also a health problem. Because unlike native mosquitoes, these can transmit dengue fever. Dengue is a tropical disease. Sometimes it's called breakbone fever because it makes people's bones ache. In the worst cases, it can even kill. And travelers often get dengue abroad, but historically, you couldn't catch it in Southern California. That's changing. Last year, for the first time ever, officials reported 2 cases caught locally. I'm in Halai as an epidemiologist with the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health. She says last year
was a reality check that this can happen in our area.
So this year, health officials were on the lookout. So far, they've found 8 cases caught here in LA County. And Halai says this is probably just the beginning.
Given the increasing mosquito problem, it could become a significant problem in years to come.
Experts say there are a few things driving the shift. Sadie Ryan studies climate and infectious diseases at the University of Florida. She says, first of all, there are just more dengue cases all over the world right now.
We've had several huge outbreaks happening, like outbreak years happening around the world in a row. And we're seeing case numbers that we've never seen before.
That surge in cases is probably fueled, at least in part, by climate change. Mosquito season is getting longer in many parts of the world. And more mosquitoes means more opportunities to pass the virus along. And that means more chances for a traveler to bring the virus back to the US, like to Los Angeles, where there are now plenty of those invasive, aggressive mosquitoes to spread it along, Ryan says.
You're basically amping up the opportunities for biting, breeding, succeeding, getting infected and then bringing infections in and then doing infectious bites.
Climate change has also contributed to the success of those invasive mosquitoes. They have actually been introduced to California several times before, but only in the past decade has the region's climate become really hospitable for them. Experts stress that the disease can be controlled, and the most important task is controlling mosquitoes. That's why Manny Lara is out here poking around in backyards.
Hi, how are you?
He warns residents to drain any standing water, and he tells people to protect themselves against mosquito bites. Lean into those long sleeves and bug spray. That's because 3/4 of all dengue cases are asymptomatic. So Lara says even if you don't feel sick, it helps to avoid getting bitten so you don't end up spreading the disease. Because all the experts say, it takes a village to protect the village. I'm Alejandra Barunda for NPR News.
You're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News. Music is a big part of Taiwan's culture. The island even has its own special type of opera, which you'll hear everywhere from theaters to temples. In one temple, a small theater troupe is preparing a special performance just for the gods. Here's NPR's Emily Fang.
I first noticed the heat. It is baking backstage. But that's not stopping the Shenxian opera troupe from putting on full face makeup, wigs, and embroidered Ming Dynasty-style costumes. Actor Jin Xiujun starts furiously powdering her face. The thicker, the better, to absorb the sweat. She contours her nose, draws on bold eyeliner, and thickens her eyebrows. She says she's going to do a xiaoshen role today, meaning when a woman plays a man, a very common and popular character archetype in Taiwanese opera. And she explains their audience for their first performance today is just a group of 5 gods called Wu Fu Qian Sui. Taiwanese opera, or Gezai in Mandarin, Zheng says, is a heartfelt way to show the gods how much humans appreciate the protection they offer us each day. What she loves about Gezai, Zheng says, is you work within the narrative of these characters, but then channel your own emotions and your own tears to tell a story. With 50 minutes left to go before showtime, the keyboardist and percussionist start warming up. But we're still waiting for the director to arrive. In consultation with the temple, he will decide what play the troupe will perform. Actor Wu Xiuhuan explains everything is improvised. The fight scenes, the lines, the pace of the stories, which they all know by heart. They make this all up as they go along, Wu says, relying on a familiar rhythm the troupe has built up over years of performing together. With 35 minutes left to go, the director, Zheng Huanqi, finally arrives in a whirlwind of rapid-fire Hokkien. That's one of the main languages spoken here in Taiwan, in addition to Mandarin Chinese. Taiwanese opera exclusively uses Hokkien. Zheng explains he's decided to go for a story about Kaxinga. That's the real-life Ming-era pirate warlord. Zhen says he wants the gods to know he is grateful. Because he relies on the gods' birthdays to make a living, and there are a lot of gods in Taiwan. The Earth God, the Mazu Sea Goddess, the 8 generals. Every time one has a birthday, a temple will invite Zheng and his troupe to perform. At precisely 3 p.m., the troupe launches into their first act. They stride on stage, their headdresses quivering, limbs encased in magenta satin. The actors are fierce and the music is loud, but they're performing to an empty audience. No one is there. No one human, anyway. Only the gods are listening. Emily Fang, NPR News, Pingdong, Taiwan.
You're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
It's been nearly 2 years since Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X. He's all...
move, and a rather fun one at that. So from Franz Schubert's String Quartet number 14, known as his Death and the Maiden Quartet, featuring CU Boulder's Quartet in Residence, the Taogat Quartet, CBR Classical. There's more Colorado music on the way in a little bit over an hour. Join Gene Inaba for Colorado Spotlights coming up at 7 o'clock, celebrating the Baroque Chamber Orchestra of Colorado tonight. Gene actually joins you in just a couple of moments. I hope you stay tuned to join Gene for a lovely evening of music. Let's hear from Ina Boyle, Irish composer of the 20th century, Overture for Orchestra with the BBC Concert Orchestra. Christina Boyle. Overture for Orchestra, played by the BBC Concert Orchestra on CPR Classical. I'm Jessie Jacobs, signing off now with Jean Inaba joining you next. She's got a trumpet voluntary right before diving into a son of Bach and some opera. Stay tuned.
This is CPR Classical, KPOD Lakewood, Denver at 88.1 FM, on HD2 at 90.1 FM, and KVXO Fort Collins at 88.3 FM.
Support comes from CU Boulder's Eklund Opera Program, presenting Hansel and Gretel, October 25th and 27th in Boulder's Backey Auditorium. Details at cupresents.org.
Marcellus, the soloist from CPR Classical. I am Janie Napa. Halloween weekend on the way, and we are sponsoring the Colorado Symphony Spectacular Family Concert. Lots of fun for all ages. There are crafts and drawing for you to enter and more. Look forward to meeting you in person Sunday afternoon. I've got my costume ready to go. Learn more at cprclassical.org. Music now by a forgotten member of the Bach family.
Thank you.